Men are just the best. You know, like right now is when I'm realizing like I can't do without them. And right now I'm like, I don't care like if you are rich or poor, tall, dark, handsome, ugly, I don't care by the way. As long as you're a man and you're breathing, like that's the only qualification I need because I'm just so desperate for a husband. Like there's a lot of pressure around me. So if you can DM me and propose, I swear I'll behave and I'll marry you immediately. I'll wash your clothes, I'll cook for you, I'll have your children and I'll be obedient and a submissive wife because that is what you guys want. I'm no longer a feminist, guys. I'm sorry.
You women from the 60s really messed up my life goals. You didn't want to stay at home and clean the house, take care of the kids, have dinner ready for your husbands when they got home from work. That is all I want to do. But no, you thought everyone wanted to be independent. I don't. I don't want to be independent. So now here I am, going to school because I'm ready to go to college and get them a job and education. Women.
Women, you're most likely not independent. And here's why. Well, here's not why. I mean, here's what I think. I used to say this a lot over and over again. Like, I'm independent. I don't need men. But also, I didn't quite believe it. I was just saying it because I used to hear it everywhere. So I said just as well, it seems I'm independent. I mean, well, I'm paying my bills and I'm feeding myself, thus I'm independent. I think that's a wrong concept, and here's why. The view of as a woman being independent is a really simplistic idea. Women imagine that if they're feeding themselves, they have a job, and they are having a house, that means they're independent. And that's not exactly it. I'm sorry, but not sorry that this is going to bother a lot of people, especially women and perhaps simps. You can't be independent, actually. What I say, that doesn't mean it's the truth. I think the truth comes from within you somehow. Whatever people say, it's half true, because obviously I can't disregard your experience of life and how you see the world. But equally, you can't disregard my experience of life and how I see the world either. So, because I'm saying that women are not independent doesn't mean that it's 100% true. I think there's something to it, let's say. So before you get triggered, please bear in mind that, like I always say, whatever I speak out is what I think and how I see the world. Obviously, how one person sees the world doesn't mean that's how the world is. I tend to say that we are seeing the world how we are, basically. So why do I think that women are not independent? Well, depending how you define independence. Independent to me is like a tiger, let's say. Someone that really does not depend on anything, but equally they still depend on the nature, on the ecosystem. Even the most lonesome animals in the world are still not so independent. Whether we like it or not to admit, we are really connected with each other, because that's how the world works as far as I'm concerned. We are connected with the feminists that we don't like, and we are also connected with the criminals that we hate, and we are connected from the worst thing to the most awesome in this world. And that's why I think it matters very much what you do with your life and how you deal with the world around you, because everything is interconnected. So obviously something that is really interconnected cannot be independent. At the same time, it doesn't work to say that, well, I'm so independent and I don't need men. I am aware that women have gone through trauma with men in their life. That's why, some women seem to feel that, no, I can be fine without men in life, and that it's their problem. The problem becomes is when these women, because of their trauma and because whatever happened in their life with men, are brainwashing the new generation or other women into thinking okay to feel and behave like you don't need men in your life, which is not true. And also bear in mind that this affects everyone. This affects women and men equally. If you really think that, hey, you know, you don't need men in life, that's fine, that it's your problem. But going round and round on your TikTok and on all your social media talking about how you hate men and how men that and men the other way around and so on and so forth, and how the world will be better without men, or writing a book how you hate men and how men are the disposable sex and how men that and men the other way, it's really wrong. If you have issues with men, that is your responsibility to fix it. Other people don't have issues with men, and we need men. You know, we don't want men to go away. The way you behave, you wouldn't be the type of person so kind and so compassionate how you claim to be towards children and towards the world if you're inflicting hatred towards men. Once you step out of your house, you're stepping on things that men have built. And I know this is old and yada 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 is an old narrative to say all that, but it's true. Even your bloody house has been built by men. You can't be saying that you don't need men after men built the world. You know, it's just that's such a hypocrisy to say all that. I think men or women or the world has anything against the fact that some women hate men becomes a problem where these men hating individuals are spilling their bitterness in the mainstream, and they're fueling other people's narratives, and they delude themselves with this idea that men are not useful and I don't know. To me, I do understand why things happen. I do understand. Well, I would like to think, I hope I'm not arrogant too much to say that I understand why people go so extreme on one type of belief. Really dislike men, you're just stuck with this. I mean, you're not born hating anything. You can't be like, no, this is how I am. Basically, you cannot identify with the belief system that you have right now that men are bad because you decided that. You haven't been born. You used to look up to your father, hopefully, and if you're not, you most likely have issues with him. That is your responsibility to find a man that has disappointed you in life and talk to that and address the issues we have with that particular man. Mind you, there's so many women out there that have spent their youth saying that they don't need men, and now they have been single for so many years, and guess what? They want to be loved, and they want to be cared for, and they want to be taken care of, and they want to be to someone to share their life with. And someone left a comment recently and they said that women should look into the lesbian divorce rate. And I thought that was such a good point, because women know that they don't last being around women because we're not meant to, we're not wired to. It's kind of sad because you're not thinking of your future self when you are young and you feel the best you will ever feel in your life. Obviously, you're going to think you're on top of the world, but you know how many people like you were beautiful and young and healthy and they thought they are on top of the world and nothing is going to touch them? All of them. Bloody hell. Every bloody one of them thought that once they were young, they thought the world is theirs forever and ever, and the way life is right now is going to be forever. Yeah, I think every young person is going to make this mistake, but a lot of young women are making this mistake, and this results in a lot of older women being alone and miserable.
I just came to like a realization these past few days have been so hard for me, because like, you know how men say that women have toxic feminism, and like you'll get to a certain age and like no one will want to marry you and no one will love you. Like I feel like I've gotten to that point, guys. Like I was so hung on to this feminism thing, and I missed out on marriage and on children.
And without having any children. And you'll be like, well, you don't care about that. Well, good. You don't have to. But the thing is that once you have a lot of women that they're, older and alone and childless, that affects the population overall. I mean, obviously, you don't care when you see one woman or another having this happen, but it becomes a problem when it happens at the worldwide level. And also, and you'll be like, well, yeah, we're too many people on earth. Why do we need to have more children? Whatever your excuse is. And yes, we don't need to, we don't need to. But at the same time, when people are lonely and so on and so forth, that's going to end up, in more miserable people, and they're going to get annoyed, and they're going to make other people's life miserable, and it's just kind of like a chain reaction of bad things happening. You think that, oh no, I'm just putting a TikTok out there and I'm just saying that I hate all men and I don't need men. But you don't realize that every choice we make has an impact in the world, and there are consequences, and even though you're not seeing them right now, you are going to see them in the future, and you're just going to hate your guts.
And now, like, I'm at a point in my life where, like, I'm so bitter. I'm so jealous of people who have marriages because they are so happy and their husbands don't even cheat on them.
Anyway, you get my point. No, just stop saying. Granted that men have the capability to survive better than women. I know that because, like I mentioned in my previous video as well, have a man or a woman and throw them out there with nothing but their clothes on. A man is more likely to survive rather than a woman because he's much stronger. Thus, he can take, he can take the weather, he can take the cold, he can take the stress way better than a woman's body can. Now, we are not our body, I think, and this is my belief. So, in terms of a woman and a man, in terms of soul-wise, there's no difference. I think that is the only equality we have. I count as much as any other male, and a male counts as much as any other woman in terms of souls. But obviously, if you are in a body that has differences and it's driven by some certain quantities of hormones and not the others, obviously there are going to be differences between each other, and someone's going to be stronger than the other in terms of body-wise and in terms of how they react to the world and to stress.
Listen, if I get drafted, I'm just gonna warn y'all right now. Do not put my black ass on like the bomb squad or something. Do not give me that level of, do not put me near any explosives. I should not be trusted. This is a letter to Joe Biden. Listen to me. Do not let them put me near explosives. I will fuck up somehow. I do not perform well under pressure. And I have ADHD. I get easily distracted. The last thing you want me to do is handle an explosive, okay? Put my ass in the kitchen, like have me like scrubbing like the dishes or like something. Do not put me near explosives. I'm warning y'all right now.
In that regards, men are better than women's bodies. That's why it's called a man and a woman, because we are, let's say, we're labeled as how our body is in response to the world. But we are not our bodies, even though it might be really difficult to grasp, we are not a body. We are whatever we are. I like to think that we are the source of light from the whole. We're coming from the whole source of light. We're part of the universe, And anyway, but that's going a whole another topic. And also, when you say that you are independent, do you really think that if something bad would happen to you, women will come to rescue you? No, women are not going to come to rescue women. Not because they don't want, or because women are not driven to rescue people. Women are not driven to risk their life. Hence, that's why a lot of men have always been risking their life in order to keep everyone safe and fed and comfortable, because men have the drive that comes natural to them. In conclusion, women, you are not independent.
My front door. My house is from the 1920s, and the front screen door needs changed. And the whole thing is like $2,000 for someone to do it professionally. I just want a new screen door. Look at this thing. It's falling apart. So I have to buy one and put it on. I don't want to do that. I don't like to do that. So yeah, reason number 3 of why having a man around is a great thing. And women do need them. That's it.
And sorry, but not sorry, like I say. Yeah. I brought a little bit of awareness in your thoughts today. I hope you didn't react too much. At this point in time, not many women are watching, so I think I am kind of safe from raging. But I'm expecting to receive all sorts of messages pretty soon, because at the beginning, the people you have as subscribers are the ones that really support you. Once you start to build a little bit more, you start to get some haters as well, but that's normal. That's what happens. So I do expect with every subject that I'm covering and every thoughts that I have about something in the world, I do expect a little bit of backlash, let's say. I hope this one was entertaining or helpful in any way, shape or form. And like always, thank you so much for your support and for having the patience to watch and to listen to my rambling thoughts. And yeah, if you have anything you would like to share, feel free to reach me on all the social media platforms, especially on Instagram. And yeah, just let me know whatever you are having in mind, or just write me down a comment, and I would be happy to hear from you. Yep. Until next time. See ya.
You know what fucking sucks? I'll tell you what fucking sucks. Shoveling a ton of gravel. That fucking sucks. The whole entire time I'm shoveling, all I'm thinking is, who the fuck are the women that wanted equal rights? The women's movement. Who wanted to do the man's work? Because I fucking didn't. I'd rather be inside making sandwiches and serving iced tea. Fuck this bullshit. I don't want to be equal. I don't want any part of being equal. I will make sandwiches. I will cook dinner. I will wear an apron. I will clean house. I'll vacuum. I'll do whatever I gotta do to keep from fucking shoveling rock.